Xavier, the moment you were placed on scholarship, I don't remember when that happened. What was that like for you? When exactly did that happen?
So it was the week of the Oregon game. We were actually going through our pregame routine, and Coach Day just kind of pulled me aside. He told me that there was an opportunity for me to be placed on scholarship, and he would like to do that. And so he just kind of told me, and he asked me to, keep it between me and my family, keep, everything focused on the game, and that was my main goal. We came a little short that year, but I just wanted to keep everything focused on the team and team oriented, so that's kind of why it wasn't a big deal.
Had you had previous conversations with Brian or anybody else in the coaching staff, like, hey, this could be a possibility down the line, I could earn a scholarship, or was it just did it come completely out of the blue?
Honestly, coming in, that was my goal. Of course, was to show that I could add value and just continue to add value to the team and do so at whatever capacity they gave me the ability to do. It was definitely something that me and my parents talked about. I talked about it with maybe a coach here or there, but there was not much open communication, I would say, about it. It was something that I think that Coach Day just saw the opportunity and he kind of executed it.
So you got the scholarship last year. Now this year's been like a breakout year for you. Has this just been like a dream for you? Has this kind of been the plan all along, I guess?
I would say it's definitely a dream. I'm an Ohio kid, Cincinnati, and I grew up a Buckeyes fan. I've had a lot of family come through Ohio State, but I would say that growing up, I always kind of had the idea of being a breakout guy or star guy, and that wasn't necessarily the way that the Lord had ordained it for it to go in the way that I saw. And so I feel like there was some maturation that had to go on, and that within my faith. And once I finally had that maturation, I think that the Lord kind of gave it back to me. So
to a guy from Ohio, how does a loss to Michigan impact you?
They're a great team, and the rivalry, the history, everything's rich behind it. So we work that game so much, we work it every day, and so having come up short, it hurts. It's something where I feel the pain not only of the loss, I feel the pain of the state having to go through a year where we come up short, and I think that kind of fuels us day in and day out. I think we got a lot of Ohio kids on the team, and so just having the understanding of that rivalry, even like pre-playing in it, I think that's kind of something that has allowed us to take it so seriously.
So from a player's perspective, how have you seen everyone's approach change this offseason, given how that game went?
I would say you didn't really have a choice. Everybody changed from Coach Day down to the equipment guys. There was a shift, and the players included in that. I think there was a bit of a lax that kind of happened, and I think that lax came back to bite us, and it was kind of like we had to rebite on everything, whether that was our off-season workouts or whether that was the scheme, the players. We had to look ourselves in the mirror. And we had to really understand, that it's a matchup game. They're an excellent team. They have, excellent infrastructure up there. And so when we're playing against them, we're playing against, someone who is very, the playing fields are leveled. So we have to bring our A game, and that really starts from the first workout in the winter, and it carries all the way through the season. So all 11 games and into the 12th. And so I think that the way it kind of changed was rebiting on that, and just understanding that if we don't work this game every day, if we're not getting better every day, then we're susceptible to what happened last year. So
because there was no game in 2020 and because of the loss last year, there's guys on this team, so they have their gold pants from 2019, but maybe didn't quite earn the pants on the field the way they'll have a chance to now. Do you get a sense that that's a motivator this week, that differential between wanting to have some ownership of the game this year?
I would say that everybody does a great job of, working the game. I mean, this year, I think we've done a great job, and we're just entering into game week. But I think that everybody's taking their job, their role seriously. I think that even the scout guys, they're understanding, they're trying to figure out exactly who they are trying to emulate, and they're going to do that to the best of their ability. I think that we do a good job of everybody taking ownership and adding value in whatever role that they have. So I wouldn't necessarily say that it's something where people felt like they didn't earn anything in 2019, but I would definitely say that there's there's an urgency. All the marbles on the table, all the cards, everything that we want is right ahead of us. So there's definitely an urgency that everybody's operating with. Like I said, from Coach Day all the way down to the equipment manager. So,
Xavier, sorry to interrupt you. You said you were a scout guy. I mean, you were a scout guy, and eventually you got the scholarship. Now you're an impact player. What's the difference between being a scout guy and preparing for this game, and then actually being an impact player and getting on the field?
I think that the correct way to approach it, there shouldn't be a difference. But I think that it's easy to get caught up in the fact that I'm not going to have an impact on this game or whatnot if it's not taught the right way, or if your mentality is not correct. I think that the scout players are just as impactful throughout the week as the people who are going to be in that play. They're giving us the look. They have to execute the look correctly. They have to show the same body language and demeanor that the other players or on the other team are going to show, or we're not going to get the look that we need. So I think that there is a bit of a I would say there's a bit of a difference when it comes to Saturday of just executing on the field versus throughout the week, which is executing and giving us a look. But I would say that everybody's just as important. We need everybody for this game. In matchup games, there's not much room for error. So the ability that the scout player has to give the look, that's as much ability as we have to succeed.
X, did you think you were going to pass one on Saturday?
I wanted to. Every time you touch the ball, you have big expectations and you desire to make a play, and that's just for the love of my brothers in the locker room. And I think that every time that I get an opportunity, my goal is to score, of course, to make an impact play and to bring energy to the team. So
when did you realize that you were elusive? It seemed like you're 71-yard run, no one to tackle you,
Yeah.
and you're about to break one for a kickoff return. Like, when did you realize that you had that in you?
I would say I kind of it was a God-given ability. I've been playing football since I was 5 years old. And my first season I played tight end, and then after that I played running back all the way up until 7th grade when I switched to receiver. But just when I was 6, I was having runs kind of that were similar to that. So I would say that's kind of my style of running. It's not necessarily traditional, but I would say that I've kind of been running like that since I was a little kid. So.
Do you think you can get a few more games? Do you think you can still get one and keep up return? It seems like you're getting pretty close.
Like I said, every time I touch the ball, I'm trying to make a play. I'm trying to, do it within the confines, of course, of what Coach Day has for me and everything. So nothing too crazy. I'm not going to press too crazy, but I think that when the ball's in my hands, Coach Day always says it's the game. It's the game in your hand. So the ability to bring energy, the ability to just help my team in any capacity that I can, I'm going to give my all to do. So.
Xavier, I'm sorry, I got to ask you this. Are you number 10 because you're X?
So yes, there's a little bit of nuance to it. I did take that into account. The Roman numeral is X. So when the opportunity opened up, I didn't really think about it until last year. And then when the opportunity opened up for me to wear 10, that was kind of the nuance that I kind of coined.
Because somebody in your family has a jersey that has X.
My mother.
That's your mom?
Yeah, my mom.
That's like the coolest jersey ever, isn't it?
Yes. So, yeah, I was definitely taken into account when I chose the number.
Okay. They should have, like, instead of the Block O jersey, they should have like the X jersey and let you wear X in the game on your jersey.
Yes, that'd be cool. That'd be cool.
The highbrow. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hey, you talked last week at length about Dallin Hayden.
Mm-hmm.
Took him under your wing when he first showed up here in June and stuff. And, kind of got apart because you were in the wide receiver room, he was running back room. But how proud are you of him right now? And is he, in fact, he's the guy of record on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? He's a running back.
Mm-hmm.
How confident are you that now he can carry the mail? Because obviously he's done it the last 2 weeks.
Right. Just as I said, I'll just kind of echo the sentiment that I said last Wednesday, I believe it was. Coach Alford does a heck of a job getting people prepared. Dallin does a heck of a job taking care of what he needs to be prepared. He approaches his work like a grown man, and I'm confident in him. I'm confident in anybody who Coach Alford puts on the field. I think that we do a great job of having transparent conversation and equipping people in a way that they can be productive on Saturdays. And so I'm extremely excited for him. He worked so hard this off season, this summer, coming in. Like I said, he had a hard hat mentality coming in and putting the work in every day. So just seeing that pay off for him, is something special. When you see your brother succeed like that, it's always gratifying.
That's what I was going to say. How does a player's esteem rise after proving that, if you noticed others maybe even treating him a little bit differently now, could be a key cog. Like I was talking with you last week about being a key cog, on this team and stuff.
Yeah, like I said, I think we do a great job of brotherhood, and I think that it doesn't really change when somebody becomes a key player, especially in the locker room. Those are our brothers. We bleed with them, we sweat with them, we cry with them, we pick each other up when others are down. So I don't think that nothing has necessarily changed. But from the standpoint of growing in
stature.
Yeah, in stature or growing in confidence. That's what I was looking for. I think that as soon as you kind of re-identify with yourself, because that's the whole issue is like coming out of high school, you're coming into a new stage, everything's amped up. The competition's better, the speed's faster, they hit harder, they're bigger, everything. So it's kind of just reestablishing to yourself that you can do this. So when a player does, like Dallin have a game like he did Saturday, I think that allows him to play more confidently and just walk around knowing that he is good enough and he's a great back. He can succeed at this level.
And the thing I was going to follow up on is, can you tell his dad that he has a dad who was a big-time star in college and played in the NFL? Can you tell that about a guy?
I think so.
You know what I mean? From just maybe the way they handle themselves. Go ahead.
Right. I think there's certain guys like a Dallin, like a Marvin, who when they come in, they kind of just have a grasp of the game that is just a little different than someone who comes in and is learning from a high school coach exclusively. So I think that you see he has obviously some innate ability, some stuff that he was working on with before he got here, and it's translated to the stuff as well. So.
All right, Xavier, thank you very much. We got to wrap it up.
What happened this being your senior day on Saturday? Just what does that mean to you?
It means everything. It's kind of the culmination of everything that was going on, everything that I've been through here. It's been the good, the bad, and the ugly. All of it has been a process. It's been a growth. It's been a maturation process. So I think just being able to share this moment with my teammates, with my brothers who have bled, like I said, sweat with me and cried with me, along with my family, who is the only reason I'm in this space, my family in the Lord. I think that those kind of culminating all those things and bringing them to a head and celebrating them, it's always gratifying. So
any maybe specific memory that just stands out in your mind when you think back on that 5-year journey?
I'm a guy who likes to think about the hard times and try to find the growth that was happening in the midst of those hard times. So I would just say, like, there was multiple times my freshman year when the only thing that kept me going was my faith. The only thing that kept me growing was a lot of prayer. When I was wanting to throw in the towel, I was just pray and just ask, like, the Lord, give me a sign like that I'm supposed to be here. I'm where I'm supposed to be. And without fail, every time the Lord answered me, and something happened where it kind of gave me that sign that I was supposed to be here and to just keep hitting the rock and continue to just stay in it. And through it, I've grown so much. I wouldn't be the man you see today without that maturation process, and I think that that's why the Lord led me here. And I'm blessed to have come out the back end and be changed and molded and hardened by what was done in the beginning. So.